Well, good morning, everyone. And once again, welcome to another live. Hope you're having a great day. Good start to the day, and I'll wait for a moment or so. Lies, lies, and more lies. That's what we're going to look at today. Hey, Nick, how are you? From our staff, John from Elgin, Illinois. Good to have you on this morning. Here we go. Folks are coming on. Michael from Wawa. Francis Marie, good morning to you. Len and Judy from Edmonton. Bright and early. Mary Jane, how are you? Zianna, good morning to you. Andrea, nice to have you on. Milagro, I like that name. Beth. Bruno, good morning. Deb, dear friend from Timmins. Lori, good morning from Niagara Falls. I hear you guys got some snow. Leamington, Katharina, good to have you on. Jerry, Micheline, bonjour. Nice to have you guys on this morning. Nelly, dear friend, good to have you. Zian, bonjour. Nice to have you this morning. Tell Jean I love him. Keith, Andrea, good to have you. Esther, Jerry, Nouveau Brunswick, Diane, and you guys are great. Connie, good morning to you. I know I miss so many. In a way, I hate to do it, but I got to say hello to a folk, and then I'll come out. Marin, how are you? And Patricia from Alabama. Well, Patricia, nice to have you on. Marnie, good morning to you. Okay. Yolanda, I was waiting for you. I won't start my show. Snow in Baxter, Jocelyn is saying. Yeah, you know what? We get snow. Anna and Connie. Okay, let me get going here. Judy in Newfoundland. We love you folks in Newfoundland. Francis, good to have you on. Okay, lies, lies, and more lies. We're going to talk this morning. I sort of did this last Thursday. Some of you might not have seen because we did an afternoon session and we'll be on a podcast, but I was talking about Johnson & Johnson. I hate to pick out companies because they do a lot of great things. They employ a lot of people, and it's just because they're the ones who started it. Okay, so last Thursday, I believe, we talked about the sun and how it got vilified. Here's things you were lied to. You were lied about. Here are things you were lied about that absolutely weren't true. And even today, it is difficult to undo these lies, okay? So let's go over the lies that you have been told. Lies, lies, and more lies, okay? Number one, and not in necessarily in order of importance. I think I would tell you the number one lie is cholesterol, that it's bad for you. Animal fat is bad for you. Brought to you by, well, the first ones out on that lie were Procter & Gamble. Okay, Procter & Gamble. You know why? Because they wanted to replace lard, that people were cooking with, replace butter, but it started with lard. And, Procter & Gamble were the first ones out with the seed oils, what we call today vegetable oils, hydrogenated oils. So let me get this straight. Okay? Fat that is in nature, fat that God gave us, Let me get this straight. Fat that God gave us, nature gives us, is bad for you. But fat made in a factory is good for you, like canola oil. It's one of the things in Canada that we export. Canola, okay? Canadian oil. It's not coming out of the ground per se, but it's a seed oil. And especially when you heat that oil up. So let me get this straight. Imagine a lie that told you don't eat fat like butter. Better to have margarine. Brought to you by Becel. The number one selling, I think, is County Crock, owned by Unilever. Let me get this straight. Is that right? Of course it's not right. Of course it's not right. What's better for you? Butter that has vitamin K2, vitamin A, or margarine? Well, you guys know the answer to that, but isn't it funny that the world doesn't? Lies, lies, and more lies. Cholesterol is bad for you. Talk about a lie. You can't live without cholesterol. You can't live without cholesterol. And you know me, this is a statement that I made, I don't know, 25, 30 years ago. And I repeat and repeat and repeat. God does not trust you enough. So 85% of your cholesterol is made in your liver. You only have to provide 15%. Now listen, if you are a vegetarian, well, maybe a vegetarian would have some butter. But if you are a vegan, you're not going to provide the 15% that you need to provide from your food. God says, I'll do 85, you do 15. Okay? But most people don't do it, and you don't drop dead. If you don't provide the 15%, you don't drop dead immediately. But it's not good for you. Why on earth would you want to have low cholesterol? People say that, oh, doc, look at my cholesterol. It's not high enough. I want to see your HDL, your good cholesterol. It's not high enough. You know how many times a day I used to tell people, and even today, if you look at me. If you send to me your blood work, I'm happy to look at it. But the vast majority of people in North America are on their way to heart disease, on their way to brain dysfunction, Alzheimer's, dementia, and other cognitive issues because they don't eat enough cholesterol. Lies, lies, and more lies. And by the way, who was in on that? Well, obviously, Procter & Gamble. They were the early ones in the 1910s, 1920s. Procter & Gamble. And then came Dr. Kellogg's. Kellogg's cereals. Oh, don't have your bacon and eggs in the morning because that's going to clog up your arteries. And still today, true or false, Still today, people have this vision in their mind. You got to give credit to what we call marketing. You got to give credit where credit is due. I'm going to tell you, the cereal companies, the food industry, they have done a marvelous job. Oh, eat fat-free. Fat-free. Oh, you can have potato chips. They're fat-free. Fat-free. If you lower your fat, you're not going to clog up your arteries. It's just the opposite. You want cholesterol to be high. I posted something yesterday on the Martin Clinic Facebook group, the private Facebook group. Heart disease is number one. Like, if cholesterol was really at the root of heart disease, we wouldn't have heart disease anymore. Because the whole world, medicine, dietitians, they still preach low cholesterol. And if it really worked, we would have eradicated, by and large, heart disease. But it's still the number one killer today. It's worse than ever. It's worse than ever. Don't eat butter and eggs. Don't eat cheese. Cheese is fat. Cheese has cholesterol. Eggs have a lot of cholesterol. Butter is cholesterol. That's going to clog up your arteries. And people have a vision that the highways of their blood vessels are all clogged up with eggs and butter and, fat on the meat. They got that in their head. Like I said, give the high fives to the liars, pants on fires, the cereal companies, Kellogg's, Post cereals. Oh, cereals are so good for you. And no, they're not. No, they're not. Yeah, butter, eggs, meat, especially bacon. Bacon, that can't be good. Look at the fat on the bacon, man. That is going to clog up those highways of your blood vessels. No, it won't. Just like olive oil won't clog up your arteries of your blood vessels, it makes your blood vessels even more slippery, olive oil. It's always been, it's sort of got, olive oil's got a good rap, and it should. I'm telling you, if you get a good olive oil, make sure it's not been denatured, It's amazing, apparently. I haven't tested olive oils per se. I mean, I just read the research, and apparently some of the oils have been denatured because, they actually put some seed oils in there in some companies. I mean, that's terrible. It's not pure olive oil, but you can get a extra virgin, cold pressed olive oil, and it's good for you, man. You know what oleic acid does? Oleic acid actually makes your blood vessels much more slippery. That's what you want. You don't want your blood to coagulate, right? You don't want thick blood running through your blood vessels that's sticky. You want butter to grease them up. You want olive oil. I got no problem. You like olive oil? Doesn't have cholesterol in it, but it has oleic acid. So does bacon. Bacon, olive oil. Olive oil, bacon. What's the difference? Well, bacon's better. Why? Has protein, has more fat, but it has the same fat as olive oil, oleic acid. It has cholesterol. See, olive oil has no cholesterol because it's It's in the plant kingdom. It's not in the animal kingdom. Animal products are the only ones that have cholesterol. Now ask yourself a question. Who's right? Nature or the food industry? Who's right? You have to answer that question for yourself. You know, a lot of people challenge me all the time about this. Oh, cholesterol, doc. You got to get your cholesterol down. Nah, that was brought to you by Pfizer. See, they were in on it too. You got, again, Pfizer, okay? They've done a lot of wonderful things. They have. But they made a fortune. They made a fortune on Lipitor, the number one selling drug of all times, was based on a lie. Let's hammer down that cholesterol. And every cardiologist in the world at the time, and now there's some that are thinking outside the box, every cardiologist in the world went for it. We need to give statin drugs. Lipitor, Crestor, Zocor. And man, oh man, why wasn't I smart enough to, in the 1980s, why wasn't I smart enough to invest in those companies? You know? Okay, I invested in real estate. You know, can go up, can go down. Why didn't I put all my money in Pfizer and make money off a huge lie? And you're starting to see some cardiologists come around. They're coming around. A cardiologist, he's an acquaintance. I know him. He said to me one time, this is a few years back, Doc, you were right and I was wrong. But he said, my hands are tied. I've got to give, if someone has a heart attack, I've got to give. I have to give to protect my license. I have to give the statin drugs. I have to. I said, even if their cholesterol is normal? I said, even if their cholesterol is normal. If you've had a heart attack, I must give statin drugs. Woo. Now, the good news with him is he used to send me a lot of patients and said, but I want you to go see Dr. Martin because he's going to talk to you about food. I had a good relationship with a lot of physicians. And because I was one to give them the good nutritional advice. And I used to get good results, okay? I could lower their triglycerides. I could elevate their good cholesterol. Lies, lies, and more lies. How about salt? Wasn't that a lie? Oh, you can't have salt. You're going to get it's going to elevate your blood pressure. Salt. You know, people have for years, true or false, people have for years eaten a salt-free diet. I feel sorry for them. Especially my generation, okay? See this face? Okay, especially my generation and my parents' generation. Man, oh man, they were susceptible to lies. Unbelievable. Lies. Salt. Ooh, you're going to elevate your blood pressure with salt. It wasn't salt. It was sugar. It was sugar, not salt. You cry salt. Your saliva is salt. Your blood is salt. Salt. I'm calling you salty. Hey, salty. No, but seriously. Salt. Your body can't live without it. What are you going salt-free for? Now, don't get table salt. That's just a refined, stripped of all its nutrients, all of its minerals. Don't get that. Don't use table salt. I agree with that. Table salt's not good for you. But get a salt. Get a good sea salt or a Himalayan salt, the pink salts, and those are tremendous for you. And add it to your food. Now listen, there is a way, okay? I've said this to you before, but I'll just do a little teaching again this morning. There's one way salt will elevate your blood pressure, and that is in the combination. You got this? Now listen. That is in the combination of dehydration. So if you don't drink water, and you add a lot of salt to your food, well, you're going to elevate your blood pressure because it has to do what they call viscosity of blood. And you don't want too much salt when you're not drinking water. Okay? Got it? But it's sugar that elevates your blood pressure. It's sugar. Sugar is what gets at the kidneys. Sugar is what gets at your blood vessels. They lied. The food industry lied. I'm trying to think of what the cardiologists ever got right. I don't think they ever got anything right. And God loved them. If you're having a heart attack, you want a cardiologist, not me. Okay? So it's not that I don't like them. It's just that whenever they come out with something and say, this is good for you or that's bad for you, they usually get it wrong. But man, they have big influence. Because people are just, if they say so, it must be true. No, not necessarily. Okay. The Sun. Johnson & Johnson. The Sun. They lied. They lied and people died. Proven 100% fact. People with the lowest levels of vitamin D die young. The sun does not kill you. The lack of sun kills you. The lack of vitamin D. And, we talked about this many a time, but I'm telling you, my generation, the older generation, my parents' generation, Johnson & Johnson, sunscreen. Ooh, put a hat on. Don't burn. 100% I agree with that. But don't, chemicals on the skin? You want to put that right in? The best way to put chemicals on this into your body is put it on your skin and then add heat. Add heat to it. Ooh, I can't get over it. The stupidity. And the world. Oh, yeah, but Dr. Martin, you're going to wrinkle up like a prune if you get sun. You know what? Your skin needs it. I talked to you last week about the new studies that shows that the sun on your skin produces nitric oxide, NO. Like nitroglycerin. It opens up your blood vessels. Imagine that. Imagine that. How good it is for you. Lies, and more lies. Now, like I said, don't misquote me. I want you to be careful. Don't burn in the sun. Don't burn in the sun. Absolutely. And just for the sake of reminding you, people who die of skin cancer, the one that's called melanoma, that's the deadliest cancer, have the lowest levels of vitamin D. They're usually shift workers or indoor workers. They don't get, and you're a redhead and you're whatever, you can't take too much sun. Okay, don't overdo it, but you need some sun. Every senior. I love seniors. Oh yeah, I am one. No, but I love them dearly. I want to go grab them and give them a big hug. Oh, you can't do that anymore. You can't hug. Don't hug. Oh, I love old people. I feel sorry for them because they've been lied to. They've been lied to. And they were told to stay out of the sun. And I would go into every senior home. Those, assisted living homes, all of the homes, and I would wheel them out myself if I had to, or walk them with their walkers and it's sunny out, let's get outside. And by the way, no sunscreen. And by the way, you need to get 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 minutes of sun so that we can get you in 20 minutes. You're going to get 10,000 IUs. And nobody ever overdoses on vitamin D that comes from the sun. It never happens. There's never been a case of it. Never. Now you can take a supplement, which I agree with 100%. You need to supplement if you don't get enough sun. You need vitamin D. Your vitamin D levels should be optimized. But you see what happens when you get lied to? It drives me crazy. It drives me crazy. Because this is serious business, guys. It's serious business. This is talking about your health. Oh, and here's another one. Don't weight lift. I see a woman jogging. You got to see how my mind thinks, okay? I see a woman jogging. I want to stop. Okay? My name is Dr. Martin. I want to talk to you about your exercise program. And listen, it's jogging's. Look, I'm not trying to say jogging doesn't have some benefits. I jogged for 40 years, for heaven's sakes. There's no one that knows more about jogging than me. But you need, ladies, you need to lift weights, sun, stake, and steel. Steel is weights. Or resistant bands. You got to build muscle. The more muscle you have. I see these women and all they want to do is lose weight. I'm going to lose weight, doc, lose weight, doc. And I understand it. I get it. But I want you to build muscle too. You need to be strong. As you get older, you want to be able to get out of a chair. You want to be able to get off the ground. And by building muscle, not jogging, by building muscle, you're going to have what we call proprioception. Your balance is going to be a lot better. You're going to have strength. You need strength. It's cardio, doc. Cardio. And the women's on the treadmill for an hour, cardio, because they think they're going to lose weight with cardio. Nah, it's better that you weight lift for weight loss. Now, you cannot out weight lift or out jog or out exercise a bad diet. You can't do it. But you know me and vitamin E. I love vitamin E. And I've come to the conclusion after all these years, and like I say, next month is 47. Jeez, I'm old. 47 years in practice next month? Wow. That's old. I don't care what anybody says. But here's my conclusions. I think I'm right. I know I'm right. No, here's what I think. Here's all my experience, and I've done it all. Name the exercise, I've done it. The best exercise is resistant training, either lifting weights, using your own body weight, using the bands, strengthening 15 to 20 minutes, 3 to 4 times a week. Now, if you go walking, that's extra. I got no problem with walking. You want to jog? Go for it. But please, listen to what I'm saying. You need to do 15 to 20 minutes, okay? So, you got about an hour a week. You don't have to be in the gym for an hour. You don't have to do this for an hour. Do it 15, 20 minutes, 3 to 4 times a week. I found with that, in my clinical experience, that to be the best for you. And I know that any counseling that I've done, where I've told people, this is what I want you to do, it's amazing how much better they felt, how much stronger they got. And it doesn't matter how old you are, you can start at any time. But you need to build muscle. Muscle is the key. You don't want sarcopenia. You don't want to waste away. You don't want to be skinny as a rake. You can be skinny as a rake, but you can be strong, muscles. Some people are just built like that, right? They're thin like a rake. That doesn't make them healthy. I tell people, don't kid yourself. Don't kid yourself. Skinny's not necessarily healthy. But this is what, you see, these are lies, lies, and more lies. It's amazing how the world has been duped by these things. Duped. And it bothered me, I just say this, it bothered me when we talk about so-called science. Let's follow the science. We've been told that for a year. Let's follow the science. Well, what in the world were they doing closing gyms? Oh, the virus. Well, first of all, they found out that the virus is not spread on surfaces. Did I tell you guys that? Yes. Did I tell you to stop using? What a lie that was. All those chemical cleaners. Like yesterday, I was in a store, and I watched a person. Every 5 seconds, spraying. I watched a person bring in their own Lysol, spraying the air around their child. I felt like going over and said, lady, you're killing the kid. You're killing the kid. Don't worry about the virus for the kid. Worry about those chemicals you just sprayed around. They're breathing that in. Oh. No wonder I got high blood pressure when I do this show. Oh, okay. Now listen, tomorrow, I'm just telling you ahead of time. I haven't even told Brandy yet. Brandy's my boss, okay? For you guys that didn't know that, okay? And I love her dearly. She is so good. But I didn't even tell Brandy yet. Tomorrow, day off, okay? It's just something's come up, and I'm not going to do the podcast in the morning, and neither in the afternoon, just because I'm going to be busy tomorrow. Okay? So no podcast, no live tomorrow. Okay? And you know me, I don't like to miss, but anyway, Tomorrow we won't have a program. We'll be back Friday for question and answer. So send your questions in, okay? Send your questions in. I'm going to do a Friday program, okay? And if you're not a member of the Martin Clinic Facebook group, then become a member. If you haven't got, okay, if you haven't got the metabolic reset numero uno on the hit parade in Canada, we're very proud of that. And thank you, because it's you guys. It's you guys that did it. We didn't do it. You did it. And we thank you for that. If you haven't got your copy, it's available, okay? Thank you very much. Talk to you soon. I really do mean it when I say I love you guys.